Hi, I'm Rene Murry, and I'd like to share why I'm running for the 36th District House of Representatives. I plan to work for safe and healthy families, a secure middle class, and a better world for our children. I got interested in policy and leadership after working many years in child abuse and neglect work, foster care, and mental health. And you find that there's a significant need for responsive federal and state policy. When you're working directly in the field, you're holding your fingers in a dike and you sometimes feel helpless. With good policy, we can really get things done for children and families. I've spent 25 years in advocacy and am in leadership now with the Children's Campaign Fund and the Children's Alliance. I'm a lifelong Democrat and a progressive majority farm team member. We're parents of two daughters, ages 24 and 19, and they went through the Seattle Public Schools. We've spent 20 years in the public education system. I believe in safe and healthy families, and one way is to work on gun safety. We must look at safe storage for guns in this next session. I also believe in supporting children, preventing child abuse and neglect, supporting children in the welfare system, helping foster kids become independent, successful adults. I also know we must reduce the number of young men of color in our juvenile justice system, and I will work towards eliminating sex trafficking in our communities. I also believe in a secure middle class, and the way to do this is public education is the great equalizer. I will do everything I can to look for new revenue and ways to support public education from birth to 23. I also believe that we have to look at gender equality and pay. So many women who are single head of households, if they were paid the same as their male counterparts, we could bring people up into a secure middle class positions. And I believe in reproductive choice. Families should have children when they want them. A better world for our children. I really like the Native American model, where we look at how what we do today really does impact our world 7 generations from now. In that sense, we have to look at climate change. We can be leaders in carbon reduction in Washington State and looking at renewables, investment in solar and wind. There are a lot of really big issues ahead of us, and I promise you, I will work really hard. I have a clarity of purpose. I know that I am supposed to try to work to be the voice for children and families and the vulnerable in Olympia. I promise you, I will be a competent and compassionate representative if I'm given the opportunity to serve. I thank you, and I ask you for your vote. Let me answer why I'm different from the other candidates in this race. I am the only person who's been a direct service provider out of this field. I believe strongly that we need voices in Olympia of people who have done the work regarding the policy that we are trying to make. We need people who are physicians and teachers and social workers and mental health providers. And I have been in direct service for many years of my life and a volunteer for the last 20. I have the depth of experience in the community. I have been involved in community leadership, working with crime prevention and sex trafficking and other issues in our community. And I believe that we need people who have done the work, who can also be a voice for policy. What I hope to do if I'm given the opportunity to serve is to come in assuming right intention. I would like to be a voice of reason and common sense, helping people come to a place where we can move legislation forward. What I'm looking at is how can we mix a concern for independence and freedom along with a value of community and common good. How can we find that place where we can work together to move issues forward? We need new revenue options in Washington State. We have a huge class action before us with McCleary, and what I'm hoping is to be a voice for a grand bargain. What we need to look at is a state income tax, along with a reduction in sales, a capital gains consideration, and reformation of the business and occupational tax, the B&O. What we can look at is a grand bargain package where we incorporate enough funds to pay for our basic education and still have money left over for the services that are important to our families in Washington State.